Sometimes we just have to meet ourselves halfway, and that is okay. Because life happens, nothing's perfect, and sometimes you get snowed into your house for 5 days and you start rethinking your whole plan in that 5 days and how you're going to accomplish those goals. Now, I get a lot of interesting comments on this channel, and some of them are very negative. And someone posted a comment saying that I needed to quit embarrassing myself on the internet because no one really cares, and I'm just wasting 15 minutes of my time that I could be out working and making money, and no one is really listening. But the truth is I'm not making this video for you. Nope, not making this video for you. I'm making it for me and anybody else who really wants to watch it. But sometimes I get a lot of negative comments towards budgeting. And honestly, I get sick of the comments sometimes. Somebody was like, Amanda, your job sucks. Your job sucks and you're not making any money, and that's why you're not budgeting full time on your YouTube channel, and that's why you're talking in your car. And the truth is that's not the case. I've wanted to kind of put my budgeting stuff into my members only for quite some time now, and just update everyone else on this channel on a regular, whether it be weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. Because I really think that budgeting is very much so a specific niche. And I don't want to have a niche. I want to be able to talk about whatever I want to talk about because this is my channel. And for the most part, I talk about low-income finance on this channel, and we talk about the nitty-gritties of living on a low income. And I've talked to you guys over the last few years about my budget, about my income, what I do for a living, and I've really kind of overshared a little bit too much. But at the same time, over the last few years, I have moved out of my back seat of my 2020 Kia, which that is not this car. We'll get to that in a minute. And I had moved into an apartment, and I became a homeowner for the very first time, even if it's a single wide in a mobile home park. I have done so many things over the last few years, and I kind of hit a roadblock. And during that 5-day stint that I was snowed in last week inside my house, I began to think, right? Because you're starting to get cabin fever and you're like, oh my goodness, dooming, doom, 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 doom. This is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this isn't going right. I gotta pay this and I gotta pay that. And I ended up unstuffing all of my sinking funds that I had been working on for the last couple of months. I mean, I counted every dollar. And I said to myself, well, it's going to bills, and at least I had it. And then I sat on my couch, bummed out, picking quarters out of the couch, really upset at myself. But the truth is that my bills for February are paid, and it's okay to start over. Except for this time, when I start over, I'm going to be starting over with a different mindset. And I think it really took my 2 best friends and my husband, so the 3 people I talk to in life the most as of recent, they were like, Amanda, like, you bought a single wide in a mobile home park, and that wasn't your idea of a first home, right? And then I started to think, my goals are not unobtainable. I just need to meet myself halfway. Because meeting myself halfway meant that I still got to own a home. I still own my manufactured home. I could do anything I want to the inside and the outside for the most part. And I like being able to do that. I like being in control of my sanctuary. And even though I needed to do this because realistically I couldn't really afford market rent anymore, and I've never got housing assistance, never was going to get housing assistance, and I wanted more for myself. So instead of being upset about counting all the money that came out of those envelopes the other day, I had to really kind of sit down with myself and ask myself, what is halfway? I got back on Zillow. I started looking at houses in my area. I looked in the big city, and then I looked in Washington. And I said, can I afford to buy a house in these areas? Is it affordable for me to continue to live in this area? And the answer is no. I don't have $400,000 to spend on a house. I'm on a low income. I make low income wage. I'm not going to be able to buy a house for $500,000. And in the city in which I lived in and grew up in, I don't have $600,000-$700,000 to spend on a house. So I began to spiral. And as I counted my money, I divvied it out, gave it to bills, and I said, you know, Amanda, I think it's time to give up. This is time to give up. But the truth is it wasn't. I just needed to think outside of the box. What would be meeting myself halfway? Halfway would be that I still get to the goal that I want to obtain. I am able to somewhat agree upon the situation, right? I wasn't fully 100% sold on living in a single wide in a manufactured home park. It's not what I wanted. I didn't want to live in a trailer park. I'd never lived in a trailer park. I'd never even been inside in a 1966 single wide. Never even been inside one. Had never spent the night in one. Didn't know anybody who owned one. And I now love it. I love it. So why not think of something else that's obtainable? What can I do to get to my goal? Can I sell my house, save money, get out of debt, obviously in different order? Get out of debt, save money, sell my house. Better order, right? That was a better order. I would like to be able to get out of my comfort zone and get out of Oregon. I would like to go visit some places, figure out if that's where I want to be, spend some time there, spend a week there, 3-day weekend, 4-day weekend, however long it may take for me to go, yes, this is an obtainable thing that I can do and I could possibly do it here. And that would include, what housing do they have in that area? Is it something that I can afford? And is there a job there that I can do? And if there isn't, can I drive for a living still there? Because that still really makes me happy. I'd be meeting myself halfway. I'd still be obtaining the same goal. Just not, I know that light's driving me crazy. My ADHD senses are like, oh, the light's going on again. Don't worry. This is an old car. It's 21 years old. It's legal to drink, but it can't because it's a car. But anyway, so back to it. It is okay for you to think about that life plan that you had and all these plans that you had to do all these things. And then it's okay to say, I can't do them here. It's okay that I can't do them here. So I won't be able to live in the state of Oregon and own a stick-built home for $600,000, $700,000 in my hometown where I know everybody and I'm comfortable and I could possibly get a mediocre minimum wage job or two. My husband could get a mediocre job and we could just, live hand to mouth. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live like that. And I know everybody is scared right now. They're like, I'm broke. I don't have any money. I, pulled my 401k. My credit cards are maxed out. And I'm in my 30s and my whole life is a dumpster fire. It's not. It's just time for you to rethink your plan. And I will say this, after calling my two best friends over the last couple of days and after talking to my husband Jordan and after sending a voice message to Jamie from Jamie's Realistic Life on Instagram, and I said, I think I'm gonna move. She was like, where? Where are you gonna move? Tell me, I need to know. And the truth is I may have to move farther from where I want to be, which could be Oregon, Washington, Idaho, or California. I could be on the other side of the United States. I could be in a southern state. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. We're not in The Little Mermaid, and Ursula is not after my voice, But at the same time, I still have to think of the ultimate goal. How am I going to get out of debt? Sure, I'm kind of mad that no one has gotten back to me about a night job. It's February. It's slow. I've been slow for the last 2 days doing any sort of driving apps. My husband has been too. My friends who do it as well have been slow. I have a friend in Arizona who's like, dude, I made like $36 the other day and I was okay with that because I knew it was slow. It's not just happening to me here in Oregon. And I really have to think of the fact that things are going to change over the next couple years. And if I can't afford to stay here, I need to figure out my escape plan. How am I going to survive somewhere else? And that has to be okay. It has to be okay. Because I don't want to be eating just beans and rice and applesauce and canned food from the food bank and, counting my every single dollar to try to save for my future. I don't want to be driving a 21-year-old car 5 years from now, because at that point my car is going to be 6 years old and it's going to need a lot more work, and it might not even be a car that I could drive at that point in time. There are so many things that are going to change in life, and it is okay to meet yourself halfway with your goal and say, I still made it, but it may have not been the way I wanted it to do. Step 1 through 5 may be step 1 through 23. It might be step 1 through 17. It might be that you start at step 1 and go to 5, go back to 3, and then hit 10. It could go any which way. Don't give up on your dreams. It's not worth it just because somebody said something to you. If I had $1 for every time somebody said something to me that was negative and told me, hey, you can't do it, don't do it, run the other way, you are not smart enough, you don't have enough consistency, you're not doing well enough, your job is not good enough, your house is not good enough, you were a specific type of person, you're going to categorize me. If I had $1 for every time that happened, I wouldn't be here doing the things that I'm doing. I'd be rich. I'd be filthy rich for all the things that I was told that I couldn't do. And truthfully, the first step for me was making it outside of the back seat of my 2020 Kia Sportage that I no longer have. And the silver lining is that I no longer have a car payment. I miss my car every single day, and it has been my number one source of income. However, I had to meet myself halfway and say, we're not going to get another new car, Amanda. We're going to skip the car loan and we're going to get another vehicle. And I wanted a Jeep. So instead of going to the Jeep dealership, I said, what can I buy with cash? So that way I don't have the heartache of another payment. And when you're on a low income, the less you pay, the better off you are. Trust me, it's going to be a thing. And I have more debts than I'm paying off every single month. I'm down to 2 credit cards, and I've been paying on a few personal debts that I'm actually hoping to get paid off by the end of the year. And I just have to be patient with myself, that I need to make time to figure out where I need to go, or where I have to go. I have to figure out, is that a state I want to live in? Is there jobs there? What am I going to do for a living? Am I going to continue to drive? Would I drive this car? Probably not. Probably not. And the truth is that I have to really reel in my feelings on failure, because I'm learning from every single mistake and every single minute that I am doing budgeting and finance. So you can only do what you can with what you got, because it's all you have to work with, and don't give up because somebody told you to. Remember, if I had $1 for every time somebody told me to give up, I'd be rich. Bye, guys.